Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Anytime this thing wants to actually, there we go. Testing. There we go. Hello, this is Chiak. We are back with AI, the Somnium Files. Where, yeah, let's load the game in because we left off at a pretty crazy point. Yes, Ota, dear God. So, and obviously we're going to be doing this particular the sync again because there are two divergent paths. Can I skip this? Because I technically have already seen it, please and thank you? No? Okay. Okay, I mean, imagine the game doesn't count this as...
Can you please take me with you?
Me having seen this.
As long as I have Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
I don't need anything else.
We'll just watch this again,
Sorry,
guys.
we can't have pets.
Cold-hearted old man.
Is this the cold storage warehouse?
Seems to be.
Not a manga cafe? Or an otaku shop?
No, but a warehouse is a commonly used location in live-action dramas.
You know a lot.
Predicting this, I did some research on Ota's taste.
I see. By the way, are you smaller?
Either that, or everything else is bigger. Interesting.
Hey, that's... Iris is about to be...
Stop right there! The heavens call. The earth cries out. The crowds roar! All calling on me to strike back against evil! Hold on, Tessa! I will save you! Yeah! I will protect Tessa!
Is this from the stream we saw earlier?
This is Ota's memory of it. It appears to be a bit exaggerated.
Alright, let's help reproduce the memory.
Somnium scan! Activate!
Okay, I thought I had to click for some reason. So, which mental lock were we on? That's what I'm trying to remember. I think we only got to 2 when I had to end the set last time. Alright. Relive Ota's memories?
Curse you, polar bear! I will vanquish you! But if I rush in, I'll like this.
Okay, so we need to break the ice.
Ah!
Oh my god. That run, still, it's just funny no matter what.
Damn it! If I go in like that...
I don't know.
I did not want to use...
Okay, so let's break this ice.
The ice on the floor is...
Okay, punch? Yeah.
This is for Date! This is for Date! This is for Date!
Do you remember
What
during
did
point-
the ice do to me?
Those who don't fight won't survive! Ah!
Forgot to like check to see if there's anything that could possibly take down the amount of time that takes. I mean, they are all reasonably about what, 100 seconds something, so... Oh, sorry, gotta click.
Damn! He's...
Okay, so is this really
Tessa!
loud?
May the glory of victory be yours!
It's over.
I suppose we have no choice but to find the glory of...
Okay, so we have the green shelf or the red shelf. See, one thing that makes me curious is that because there's like different plates on the green shelf, are there... I just realized the timer is just naturally moving down. I'm not moving, it is going. Wait, how do you do the red shelf? I'm curious. Okay, you know what? Green shelf, but there's that little magic behind it there, so...
A plate attached to the shelf.
Either way,
The
we'll
cold
be
has
coming back
frosted
to
over.
this at some point. Wipe off, breathe on. It was wipe off, right?
I rubbed the frost off, but nothing.
Okay, so it was breathe on. My bad!
A plate attached to the
Agent
shelf.
Date, you've got 4 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I misremembered.
B.
I would be happier about D.
Oh
I'm
god.
sure.
Oh. Because last time I just did A. And then that seemed to progress forward, right?
A plate attached to the cold has frosted over.
But then, something strange happened.
What's happening?
Okay. So not all the plates
Oh,
matter.
that's bright.
What is this?
We're out of options! Tessa! If this was another, I would have died already. Next time, he will get me. That's just destiny.
Okay. So that was mental lock 1. Sean the letter A. So this is where I left off last set.
No! I will fight destiny and win!
So now everything at this point, I
So
have
he
no
says.
clue.
I'm the one who has to help him.
We have to make Hero of Justice Ota fight back and look cool doing it.
Okay, well clearly, counterattack ignited, moved to the wooden box. Now unfortunately I did waste quite a bit of time with this. Also, I want to get that. Is there a way to get that? What's that glowing thing?
A wooden box.
Push, break, investigate. There's also the forklift. Move the... Okay, so we need to move the wooden box.
A wooden box.
So I would imagine it's push.
Push it over to Ota.
Again? Okay,
It
so this
doesn't
is where the
move.
forklift comes in.
What's
then.
in it?
A small wooden box?
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry!
A forklift.
Pray? What is sortie? This I never understood. You know what? Just because I want to see what the hell sortie is.
What? Sortie?
This is Ota's world, right? Your role in this dream is to assist Ota in his fight against the polar bear.
Lousy Ota. Thanks to him, my image as a cool intellectual has been destroyed. All systems green. Synchronization rate, 6%.
Oh my god.
Now, cargo handling car. Forklift. Sortie!
Hey, forklift! Fork over that weapon now!
God. forklift. Fortunately, I did waste quite a bit of time.
I can't stand. I'm weak.
Ota, really?
Did he really help Iris like that?
We have no choice but to have Ota do it. We need him to stand up.
What's the goal of this one? Final act, brave hero, disarm the foe. So we need Ota to stand up. Right.
Ota is still down.
Encourage, cheer, motivate. There's no like, what the hell? There's nothing. I feel like cheer, maybe? I have no idea.
Ota will feel the worth of Iris's peace when he grasps it.
The ghost inside me whispered. That's right. I can't run away now. I can't sacrifice Tessa. Awaken the soul!
Right, he's up. He's at him. Go fight.
There! Why?
That was the flower knife. Huh. Alright. So now this puts Ota's mother in the crosshairs of the situation. Sorry, lift the fighting spirit. Sure. Day 4 Ota A acquired. Alright, day 4 Monday.
Sorry that I had to get rough with you, kid.
Seriously, dude? Come on.
So sorry, Ota. Date told me to be the bad cop.
I did not.
Temper, temper.
Whatever. Anyway, Ota, I have some things I want to ask you. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Let me get right down to it. Your mother, Mayumi Matsushita, was at the warehouse, wasn't she?
What are you talking about?
Was she there?
Why would she be? That happened at 3 a.m. She was at home asleep.
Then why did we find evidence at the crime scene?
Evidence?
Sure, it might not prove she was there, but it makes it likely. The evidence is...
The chocolate wrapper thing? Here, this one, right?
The Hodoroki man chocolate.
the same one I showed you at the hospital. I found it in the corner of the cold storage warehouse.
So? That doesn't prove anything.
Mayumi's fingerprints were on the package.
What?
You have a bad poker face, Ota. Your reaction tells me Mayumi didn't give this to you and you dropped it on your own.
That information is confirmed. Ota's fingerprints were not found on the package.
Mom isn't the killer!
I didn't say that she was. I'm saying that she was at the scene. And so were you.
Wait a minute. Why do you think Mayumi isn't the killer, Ota?
Because I was face to face with that polar bear when we fought. I could tell it wasn't my mom even through the costume. And no matter what happened, there's no way that my mom would stab me.
Why are you covering for her?
Covering?
That's why you're lying to me, right?
I'm not.
Are you sure about that? You must have seen direct evidence of Mayumi being at the warehouse, but you're hiding that from us. Or maybe even you're starting to suspect her.
I am not.
Sure.
What are you accusing me of anyway? What do you think I'm hiding?
Alright. 2 cars. Is it this? Because that's what we saw in the Oh, I wasn't.
The kitchen knife, with a floral pattern. Mom, I love you always, is carved on the handle.
Ota gave me that knife for Mother's Day when he was in elementary school. He knows how much I love flowery designs.
You were stabbed by that very same knife.
How do you know that? The criminal ran away with the knife. No one was supposed to see it.
I knew it.
No, my mom didn't do it.
Then why did you not mention the kitchen knife earlier?
Because I know how it looks. I thought Mom would get accused, and then she would have been brought in here and interrogated. I didn't want to put her through that. And Mom never liked Tessa. So maybe, just maybe, Mom hired someone to kill Tessa, and she gave them that kitchen knife. I don't know. I thought of it that way. Like that would ever happen. I know it sounds crazy, but after I saw that knife, I just lost it. Please, you have to believe me. Mom isn't a serial killer.
Yeah, I agree.
You do?
I do. I don't think it's possible for Mayumi to have kidnapped Iris. Because...
So
Two cars were parked in front of the warehouse. One was the van owned by the Matsushita family. Ota's fingerprints were detected on the driver's seat and steering wheel. Iris's fingerprints were detected on the passenger seat. The other car was a station wagon.
Okay, but that's the one Ota stole.
Yesterday at 10:33 p.m., Ota stole this station wagon. It was parked at the Famisto along Koshu Highway. Ota explained his reasoning for stealing the car. He claims that while he was inside the Famisto, someone took off with the van with Iris still inside. Ota decided to steal the station wagon parked nearby to give pursuit.
What was that
Ota
about the
searched for
chocolates
the
again?
van in his stolen vehicle.
Like, there's something about when...
Our investigation
The mother bought the
determined that
chocolates, right?
Iris and the van were taken 1 minute before Ota stole the station wagon. This puts the incident occurring at 10:32 p.m. A video camera and laptop were discovered in the warehouse. Either could have been left by the criminal, but determining the owner through purchase history will be difficult. No fingerprints were picked up either. Todoroki Man chocolate. This was discovered. Mayumi Matsushita's fingerprints were. Mayumi purchased the chocolate yesterday at 10:33 p.m. The purchase was made at an 812 convenience store.
10:33
The store was
p.m.?
located approximately 100 yards from the Famisto where Ota stole the station wagon.
So it had to be the Todoroki chocolates again, right? Or is it both of them? It's probably both of them then, because the time doesn't match up. Yeah, I know. Calm down. If you'll just let me cook it, please.
The Matsushita's van was stolen from the parking lot of the Famisto while Iris was in the car. That was yesterday, 10:32 p.m. 1 minute later at the 812, which was about 100 yards away, Mayumi bought the Todoroki Man chocolate. She entered the 812 about a minute earlier. This was all caught on security cameras at the store. That means it's impossible that Mayumi could have taken the van. And that means that Mayumi being the polar bear is also next to impossible.
Phew.
However, I can't completely clear her.
What?
You said it yourself. She could have hired someone to commit the crime.
But that was...
In any case, I need to hear from Mayumi herself. I need to hear her explain the chocolate, the knife. There's a lot to cover.
Is she gonna be able to answer?
I'm gonna
though?
head to Matsushita Diner.
What? Hey, wait a minute!
'Cause
Don't worry. I'm not going there to arrest her. I'm going there to clear her of suspicion.
Really?
Yes.
You won't arrest her?
Your mother wouldn't kill anyone. Right, Ota?
Thank you, Date.
Okay. Please don't get stabbed, Date.
Sorry for the late night, Miss Matsushita. But I have some questions I need to ask you. Could you spare some time?
I finally remembered about the warehouse. I did it. I did everything.
Okay. Never mind, that wasn't much of I mean... What does she think she remembers? Now that's the question. Because if she's confessing in order to protect Ota, very likely, Tuesday 10:04 a.m.
I didn't do this last night because I wanted to give you a chance to calm down. How are you, now that you've slept on it?
What are you talking about?
I'll be honest. I don't think you're the killer. You're giving us a false confession.
No, it's true. I kidnapped that witch, I took her to the warehouse, and...
Put her on the table and pulled her eyeball out?
No, let her finish!
Yes.
And the polar bear costume?
Oh my god.
I bought it through mail order.
And you were the one wearing it?
Yes, that's right.
Date, the criminal has confessed. Arrest her immediately.
I mean, if the
You
boss
got to the top
is...
of Abyss acting like that?
I heard that she used to be an actress.
Sounds about right.
I mean, considering that boss, Pewter are all somehow involved in this as well. We know less about how the boss is involved in this. But her interrupting to basically give... Because if she just explained the details herself, then it'll be on Date to figure out, okay, well, clearly this is just made up. It doesn't align with what evidence we have of the events, blah, 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 but, oh god, okay. Mimi, why'd you kidnap Iris? Why do you want to stream it? Were you the one who stabbed? Start with the Iris
My
question.
son is under that witch's spell. Merchandise, concerts. She's bleeding him dry. I wanted to snap him out of it. I wanted to save him.
Oh, that's the end of that?
Because the world needs to see that witch die.
Just a quick question, Mayumi. Do you know anything about online streaming?
I'm not stupid. I might be old, but...
Could you explain it to me?
Huh?
Step by step. Just tell me what you did.
I can't explain it in words. It's more like muscle memory. I was able to get it working after trying a few times, that's all.
Okay. Where'd you get the camera and laptop?
I picked them out of the garbage.
Really?
Which garbage?
I don't remember. It's
God.
true, I planned the whole thing.
You picked them up, that's...
Because I just hated her so much. Killing her wasn't enough.
Wow. Were you the one who stabbed Oda?
Well,
You were in the polar bear costume, right? That means you stabbed him.
yes, I stabbed him. With the knife I brought from home. I wasn't trying to hurt him. He fought me, and then it just...
What do you know about the Cyclops killer? We call the criminal we're after the new Cyclops killer.
I know. They killed Shoko Nadami and Renju Okiura.
That's right. Both corpses were found with their left eye pulled out. Same as Iris. This leads us to believe that the crimes were all committed by the same person. So this person in the polar bear costume, they are the new Cyclops killer. And you're telling me that person is you? You killed Shoko and Renju?
Yes, I killed them.
Not gonna lie, Mayumi's annoying me right now. It's like, really? You want to save your son, but then you're potentially also letting a serial killer get away with more. What's your motive?
Isn't Renju Okiura the president of that awful company where the witch works? He's just as responsible, using her to steal time and money from vulnerable kids.
Your son is 25
I'm sure
now.
He was debaucherous and degenerate. That man is the root of all evil. That's why I killed him.
Why'd you kill Shoko?
Renju's ex-wife, right? I did it to get to him.
But the two divorced 4 years ago.
That doesn't matter. The bonds of matrimony are eternal.
In your opinion, I don't think Renju felt the same way.
You are really starting to aggravate me. I answered your questions, so there.
When and how did you kill her?
Well,
Here we go.
I don't remember.
What do you mean you don't remember? Do you really think that lie is gonna work?
I have a memory disorder. I don't always remember everything. It's not my fault.
But you remember the cold storage warehouse.
There are times I remember and times I don't remember. It changes.
Date, Mayumi is not lying about that in particular. There are circumstances that might cause selective memory. For whatever reason, her memory might not have been stored properly in her mind. This is not uncharacteristic for those suffering from dementia.
I'm assuming we're gonna be singing with her after this.
I am not lying.
You do know that perjury is a crime, right?
I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I killed Shoko and Renju, and I tried to cut that demon witch in half.
Date, there's no point in letting this go on. She's clearly lying.
You seemed convinced earlier.
I was kidding. I don't think she's the killer.
I am the killer! I am!
Right now, we have to rely on hard evidence. The Odoroki Man chocolate that Mayumi bought was found at the warehouse.
If Mayumi was at the scene before Ota,
She may have seen the criminal's face.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yep.
Date, sync with her.
Figured, so soon, so right after. Though this one is gonna be interesting because of her illness.
Pewter, we're going to sync with Mayumi Matsushita. Prepare the machine.
What happened?
The sync machine isn't operating to capacity. Yesterday's sync, well, suffice to say, Ota and Date were not too compatible.
Compatible?
I'll give you the big picture. To get the synchronization working properly, I had to push the machine pretty hard. And now, it's not responding.
How long will it take to fix?
16 hours, at least.
You've got 8.
But that's impossible.
So we can't sync yet, huh?
But we need to, or this investigation is going nowhere.
Date, I suggest we go to Matsushita Diner. We may be able to find some clues.
Good idea.
I let Boston Pewter know.
Pewter, we're counting on you for those repairs. I'll be back in 6 hours.
But you said 8. Please, you have to give me at least 8.
That Pewter, always so humble. He'll have it done in 6.
Yeah, Pewter is just that kind of guy, you know?
Hey! This is a hostile work environment!
I'm kind of curious what is Peter's reaction to Renju's death. Since in this this particular timeline,
Why would Mayumi
died.
lie?
She is probably protecting someone.
Protecting Oda, we mean someone.
But who?
We mean who?
Surely you know by now. There is only one person Mayumi would want to protect that badly.
Oh my god, really? Why are you?
It's Ota.
Of course it's Oda.
It has to be.
Does Mayumi think Ota is the killer?
Last night, Ota left Matsushita Diner with Iris. Mayumi saw the whole thing.
But Ota was stabbed in the stomach by the culprit. Does Mayumi not remember that?
No, that isn't quite it. It is possible that she thinks Ota is responsible for everything.
She thinks Ota stabbed himself?
Yes.
Why would he do that?
Before I explain, I would like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the possibility that Ota is the new Cyclops killer?
Impossible.
Why?
Why can't Ota be the culprit?
The van was stolen while Iris was in the passenger seat. We know that whoever did it is the culprit we're looking for.
There is a chance that Iris was not in the passenger seat. She could have been driving.
How so?
Iris could have taken the wheel herself and driven to the warehouse.
But forensics only found Ota's fingerprints on the wheel.
That can be explained. It is possible that Iris covered her fingertips with her sleeves.
Okay.
Iris had her left eye pulled out. Ota would never do that.
Have you considered that she pulled it out herself?
What?
Or even asked Ota to do it? Perhaps she ordered him to.
In yesterday's Somnium, Ota and the polar bear.
That was just a dream. It doesn't necessarily reflect what happened in reality. In short, Ota and Iris are accomplices. This was all a performance.
A performance?
Iris drove the Matsushita's van. Ota drove the station wagon. They went to the warehouse separately. Then, they prepared the live stream. Iris anesthetized her left eye and removed it. Either that, or she asked Ota to extract it. After that, Iris took her position on the table, and Ota donned the polar bear costume and started the saw. Consider this. In the stream, Ota and the polar bear were never on screen at the same time.
True. That means Ota went off camera, took off the costume, and then...
Stay away from Tessa!
Perhaps Mayumi witnessed the entire event. It is also possible that Mayumi knew what the two were up to.
So she lied to protect Ota.
Yes, but this is only a theory.
Alright. Well, where do we go from here? Why would they do that?
Consider the possibility that Iris killed Shoko and Renju.
Then, this whole thing was to get her off the suspects list. That's why she pulled out her eye and had Ota stab himself. It makes it look like there's another criminal involved.
I will repeat myself in saying that this is only a theory. It is one of many possibilities.
It's possible, but I don't think it's very likely. They wouldn't go that far just to avoid suspicion.
Date, you must consider the mental state of the serial killer. Shoko and Renju were both exposed and displayed. And they both had their left eye removed while they were still alive. Whoever our killer is, it is clear that they are sociopathic or even psychotic.
We can't rule anything out.
Alright, well, let's find clues at the Matsushita Diner. Anyone home?
Ota,
Oh.
why are you...
Why did you arrest Mom? You said you were gonna clear her!
She made it difficult. Yeah, you guys want to start talking now? Do you seriously not know why?
When I was in the hospital, the police came to me. They told me that my mom confessed.
Okay, so you know why.
I couldn't believe it, so I went to the police station. But because she was under investigation, they wouldn't let me see her. After that, I didn't feel like going back to the hospital. That's why I'm here.
It's not like Mayumi's under arrest.
You asked me why your mom was arrested earlier, but she isn't under arrest.
What?
I spoke with her as part of my investigation, yes. But as a source of valuable information, not as a suspect. Mayumi confessed, but it's highly likely that she's lying. So we haven't issued a warrant for her arrest.
That's what I've been saying! Mom didn't do it, she's innocent!
Is Iris
Word
the
is going
criminal?
around. Maybe Iris was the one who killed Shoko and Renju. And you and her planned this warehouse incident to get her off our suspects list.
No way! Tessa had her eye.
She could have pulled it out herself, or asked you to do it.
You're kidding me, right? Do you really think I would do that? I was fighting for my life against the criminal!
That wasn't caught on camera, though. Neither was the part where you got stabbed.
You're saying that I stabbed myself?
It wouldn't be the first time you faked something, would it, Ota?
You...
Did you stage the warehouse incident?
I'm telling you I didn't!
Then why is Mayumi protecting you?
Mom is protecting me?
Your mother is stubborn. She's lying to us because she's protecting someone. The only person I can think of would be you.
Why?
Apparently she thinks that you're the criminal.
Why would she think that?
Your guess is as good as mine. Got any ideas?
Maybe because of her condition. Mom has... dementia. Maybe her memory is just mixed up.
About Mayumi's dementia.
Everything is my fault. It's because of me that Mom is... I know how it looks now, but back in the day, the diner was doing pretty good. You know Bloom Park is close by here, right? People who visited the park would stop here a lot. But ever since the explosion 8 years ago...
The chemical plant accident?
Yeah. We're just barely outside of the restricted area, but... because Bloom Park closed, the number of customers dropped by a lot. The diner didn't last much longer. When this place closed, Dad started working at a Chinese restaurant chain during the day, and he was a security guard and traffic cop at night. Mom worked as a janitor. They were both working hard and barely got any sleep.
And you?
I was just a high school student at the time. I was such a dumbass. I thought it was totally normal to have both parents working, so I didn't even get a part-time job. And they bought me a PC and Idol concert tickets. I had it good, but we were drowning in debt. And there's a loan on the house and the diner. Mom and Dad didn't let this place go. There are too many memories here to give it up. So they slaved day and night to keep it open. They worked and worked and worked. Thanks to them, I was even able to go to a good university, but right after I started, Dad...
Passed away?
Yeah, he had a heart attack. From overwork. But even then, I didn't get it, you know? I didn't appreciate how hard they worked for me. Even when I wasn't taking college seriously and getting bad grades, my mom didn't say a thing. She just smiled and told me that it was okay, even when I told her I was going to drop out. Mom, I'm thinking of dropping out of college.
What? Why do you want to do that, Ota?
I decided that I'm going to become a writer.
Wow, a writer. Oh, that's a good goal to have. But you really should finish college. You worked so hard to get in.
You don't understand, Mom. A writer has to put all of their time into their creativity. I won't have time to go to classes. Plus, I'm friends with the editor of a publishing company. I'm definitely going to have my first book published.
Is that right? Well, Ota, if you say so, I won't stop you. Do what makes you happy. You'll turn out just fine. I know you can do it. And no matter what happens, Mom will always be on your side, okay? Forever and ever, I'll always support you, Ota.
Okay. You lied about the editor thing, right?
Yeah, how do you guess? It was really just a few texts back and forth, but I was thrilled. I thought I could make it as a writer because of that. But it's impossible. I know there's no way I can be a writer. I've never even finished writing a novel. Not even once. I always give up after the first 5,000 words.
What? Just the
To
first
even apply
5,000?
for the amateurs contest, you have to submit 10 times that. But Mom, she kept supporting me.
When did Mayumi's illness start?
Not long after I quit college. Mom was always smiling at me. But I think she was starting to slip mentally. One day.
Oh, what's wrong, Ota? Do you have the day off from school?
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, right. You don't attend anymore. Oopsie, I totally forgot.
How can you forget your own son's career choice?
Sorry. Anyway, are you hungry? You haven't eaten anything since this morning, have you?
Are you kidding?
What?
I ate breakfast and lunch already!
Oh, did you? By the way, Ota, what's living at the dorms like?
Why are you making fun of me?
I'm not teasing you, honey.
Don't fuck with me!
Okay, so Ota was a bit more of a brat before.
I got sick because I'm such a piece of shit. I was only thinking about myself. I didn't take care of her. I was so stupid, I didn't realize she was sick. I thought she was messing with me. I was so cruel to her for no reason. And she got worse and worse.
About that picture?
What's that picture?
Ota turned the photo frame to me so I could see.
Looking at this photo reminds me. One time, when I was a kid, I said something really bad to Mom and Dad, and they scolded me for it. And it's not like it was an apology or anything, but Dad and I gave her a Mother's Day gift. My mom was so happy that she cried. That's what this photo is from. Why did it turn out like this? I'm such a bad son.
Hey, Aiba.
What is it?
I don't like Ota one bit. But I can't imagine that this guy's the criminal.
Why is that?
Hearing his story made me think that he's not such a bad guy.
Your presumption is illogical.
Human beings are illogical. We're not like you AI, we can't be logical all the time. But we make up for it in one very important way.
What is that?
Intuition.
Do you find that useful?
At times. Aiba, let's go back to the cold storage warehouse. We might be missing something.
Understood.
Alright. Sitting there with a depressed look on his face. Alright, let's go back to the cold storage warehouse and see what we can see. It's 12:50 p.m. on Tuesday.
Date, weren't you going to check the warehouse?
I was, but a thought occurred to me.
I have a question. They said he ran out. Okay, there is sort of a back here. Was it these ones? I thought there was like a bunch of them that were flush with the water. But that doesn't quite look like it's flush with the water, but... Okay.
Aiba, who drove the van here?
There are two possibilities. Either Iris or the criminal who kidnapped Iris.
And Mayumi?
Considering the time that she purchased the chocolate, that would be almost impossible. The van was hijacked from the Famisto parking lot at 10:32 p.m. At that time, Mayumi was in the 812 convenience store more than 100 yards away.
Okay, nothing there.
Date, look! A tonguefish on the ocean floor.
What's a tonguefish?
A flat fish, like the sole of a shoe.
You can see all the way down there?
Of course I can. My vision and my looks are my best qualities.
Aiba, are you sure that Ota took this car?
As I've already explained, the security cameras at the Famisto parking lot saw the entire incident clearly.
So it was definitely Ota who drove it here.
Why are you stating the obvious?
We found the chocolate Mayumi bought on the floor of the cold storage warehouse. But that doesn't prove she was actually at the scene. If she was, how did she get here? She wasn't in the van or the station wagon.
Of course, a different car. I will search for all vehicles that were in this area from Sunday night to Monday morning.
Aiba connected to the end system server and began her research. She got results in no time.
Found one hit. A taxi.
Where's that taxi now?
It is parked in Lemniscate's parking lot.
At Lemniscate? Why?
Unknown. But we should speak with the driver immediately.
Okay. So less about the cold storage and more about... or the interior of the warehouse. 1:36 p.m. It's like a half-hour drive. Okay.
Hey,
you're
got a
just
minute?
Here?
Are you talking to moi?
Oh my god.
Moi?
Date, now is not the time to be distracted by this old man's diction.
Mind if I ask you what you're doing here?
Moi? I am but a humble taxicab driver.
There we go.
I'm with the police. I have some questions for you.
Okay. Oh, you want me to start the questions. Alright. Where are you from?
I was born in Kawago, Saitama.
And why do you talk like that?
I don't know what you mean. I've spoken this way all my life. My parents speak with the same vernacular.
What are you doing
I have
here?
just finished conveying my client from Tameke Sano's studio. I was informed that the visit here would be brief, and thus I have decided to wait in this lobby.
About Mayumi. Before I arrived at Lemniscate, I got a picture of Mayumi from Abyss. I showed it to the driver.
Did you drive this passenger on Sunday night?
Ooh, I did indeed. I remember her well. The old hag.
Old hag.
Oh, whoa.
I took her on a tour of the streets of Tokyo. Our ultimate destination was the warehouse district in Ariake.
Why didn't you report this to the police?
Reported?
You don't know about the incident at the cold storage warehouse? It was all over the news.
No, I'm afraid not. Newspapers and television news programs have never been much of an interest to moi.
Describe what happened with Mayumi.
I recall it was around 10 in the evening. Near the Kabasaki district, an unassuming restaurant named Matsushita Diner. That's where I picked up the old hag. And as soon as she stepped foot in my conveyance, she was already barking orders at me. Follow that van, hurry! I must admit, I found it rather exciting, just like an old chase film. I, of course, insisted that I be paid up front. We pursued the van for roughly half an hour. Suddenly, the van came to a halt at a convenience store.
The Famisto along Koshu, right?
Precisely right. I am surprised you know that. In any case, I knew that the jig would be up if we were seen following the van. So I decided to drive past it. I parked at the 8 store, but 100 yards from there. While waiting for the object of our pursuit to make its next move, the old hag suddenly spoke up. I have to buy something, she declared, then made her way into the 8.
This must be when Mayumi bought the Todoroki Man chocolate.
A few minutes later, the old hag finished making her purchases and walked out. And then, at that very moment, I witnessed the van jet off at great speed down Koshu. I hurried the old hag inside my vehicle, then resumed the chase. We followed them for roughly half an hour more.
I see. If the driver's story is correct, Mayumi did not know that Ota was left behind at the Famisto.
Mayumi thought Ota was in the van the whole time.
Okay. Listen to the rest of the story.
We then arrived at a splendid manor. The van entered the premises through the front gate and disappeared from view. We, of course, could not follow, so we waited outside. I estimate another 10 minutes passed. The front gate opened once again, and the van drove out, and we pursued. But 30 minutes later, our pursuit was foiled again.
What happened?
The van drove into the restricted Kabasaki district. The old hag, of course, demanded that I follow. But I was not about to risk my license and livelihood. Instead, I parked on the road and waited for the van to drive back the way it came. But of course, we knew it might not take the same road back. In fact, we were not even sure the van would be coming back at all. But the old hag was not keen on giving up, so we began our stakeout. About 45 minutes later, the date had changed at this point. It was 12:25 a.m. on Monday.
How do you remember the time so well?
Well, you see, I always keep my radio dial on the same station. I remember precisely which programs were playing during this endeavor. Thus, I can approximate the time.
I see. Please continue.
At 12:25 a.m., the old hag's tenacious gamble paid dividends. The van returned down the same street. and thus we again made pursuit. I kept considerable distance. We had come so far, I did not want to get caught now. But my caution backfired. I lost sight of the van in the Ariake warehouses. Without so much as a thank you, the old hag popped open the door and took off toward the warehouses. I waited for some time, but the old hag did not return. The goose was cooked at this point, so I made the decision to return home. I am glad I had the foresight to ask for payment in advance.
Okay, one more question.
I follow your story. I have one more question. Where is this manor the van stopped at?
Oh, every taxi driver in the city knows that residence. It is the personal home of Congressman So Sejima.
I'm not
Sejima?
Why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Why did the van go to So's house?
We need to speak with him immediately.
Agreed. Let's move.
If everyone knows what it is and you already know, then why don't you just say it? Sejima residence. We're not gonna get much far unless we're gonna find your dead body. What did the boss apparently do? Supposedly do? Come up into pieces? Tuesday, 2:21 p.m.
There's no one here.
Indeed.
I don't see So or his bodyguards.
I do not detect them either.
Let's go inside. Hey, Aiba. Do you smell something funny?
You are aware that I do not possess the sense of smell, correct?
Oh, right. There's something strange about this vase. Ugh.
What is it?
This is definitely where the smell is coming from.
Is there something inside?
Maybe, but the opening is covered by a metal plate.
The lid is fixed with a bolt. It will not open easily.
Yeah.
Then, as is standard procedure...
Here we go. We're gonna find... Okay. Wonderful. Exit. Oh wait, sorry, I have to click on it.
What the?
There we go.
Date, destroy the vase!
Got it.
Oh my god. Did you have to... I feel like you destroyed...
So Sejima?
Well, hi, time to call in the murder.
That is the head of So Sejima.
With a missing left eye.
The left eye is hollowed out.
This is most likely a crime committed by the new Cyclops killer.
So's body cut into pieces. Fragments of the broken vase. Okay, is there anything else for me to... Unless I need to...
Do you have an estimated time
Here,
of death?
There we go. Just
Today,
keep clicking on the head.
sometime between 11 a.m. and noon.
Okay, so it wasn't the night before.
That's about when I was talking to Ota at Matsushita Diner.
At that time, Mayumi was in police custody and Iris was in the ICU of Central Hospital.
Okay.
They have not moved.
That means Ota, Mayumi, and Iris couldn't possibly have committed the crime. Assuming that this is the work of a single killer, those three can be eliminated from the list of suspects.
Ota, Mayumi, and Iris are not the new Cyclops killer.
Right.
I feel like you could have probably done this better with less of a mess. I don't know, there might have been evidence on that vase.
By the way, why is there no one in the mansion? No bodyguards, no housekeepers.
I do not know.
Does So have family?
So Sajima's wife died in labor 30 years ago, giving birth to their son. Their son is currently living abroad.
So lived here alone?
Do you find that suspicious?
No, just...
Date, a call from Pewter.
Connect me.
Date, the sync machine is up and running. You can sync with Mayumi now.
Oh, thanks, Pewter. But there are more pressing matters now.
Did something happen?
Yeah, I found So Sajima's body, with the left eye hollowed out.
What?
I'm at the Sajima household. Send the investigation team over.
Why so?
I can answer your questions when I get back to Abyss.
Got it.
You know so
Date,
too as well,
what is
Peter?
your plan? Wait until crime scene investigation arrives?
No, there's something I need to do. If that taxi driver was telling the truth, Mayumi was at the warehouse yesterday. And we know the chocolate we found at the scene was hers. Maybe she saw something. Maybe she knows something we don't. Some kind of clue or information about the culprit.
Then...
Yeah, we're gonna sync with Mayumi.
Okay, here we off again, not securing the crime scene, waiting for the people to actually arrive before everything's done. Ugh. That's it, if the housekeeper does come by, they could be in for a shock. Tuesday, 3:09 p.m.
Date, a large-scale investigation of So Sajima has already begun. At this very moment, the media is already swarming outside the building.
Really? Doesn't matter. The sync is what's important. If we sink into Mayumi's brain, that might help us find the real culprit.
I understand. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then, let's begin.
Now, so far we have not found more information of how the boss could be involved. Peter's reaction was interesting there, about Tsujima's demise.
Where am I?
Where is this? Oh, silly me. This is my house. Huh? What happened to me?
This is Matsushita Diner, though it looks odd. Likely an effect of the dementia.
Then we need to help remind her.
Do you think such a thing can be done?
This diner means everything to Mayumi. If we do what we did last time and reproduce the actions from Mayumi's memories, we could help her remember everything.
Is this what you call your intuition?
Told you it was useful.
Well, if we must. Somnium scan! Activate!
Okay, there's a lot of mental locks. Find Mayumi's lost memories, reproduce Mayumi's past actions to invoke her lost memories. Okay, really? Swinging door. There's a person.
The sliding door at the entrance. Who could that be?
Welcome?
Welcome! Come on in!
Why did you say it like that?
Oh, they're not a customer.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
The sliding door at the entrance. We're closed today.
They're not leaving.
I suppose they are not a regular customer.
Okay.
The sliding door at the entrance.
I'm gonna assume it's gonna be leave us alone. Which I guess I'll make sure to take.
Get out of here!
They aren't going away.
They're not from a collection agency.
Agent Date, you've got
The
4
sliding
minutes.
door at the entrance. Welcome back.
Oh.
Welcome back, Ota. You're late today.
Home.
Are you not hungry? Today's dinner is omelet rice. Your favorite. Dad isn't back yet.
Oh, I was thinking
but you
they
can
were a
start
customer
eating.
or something like that. But...
Again? I'm okay. I ate already.
But,
I'm fine.
Ota, wait!
Okay, either way, I think I have to
Okay.
restart this right away because I lost a lot of time with that.
Part of the diner has manifested.
Maybe this is one of the memories she forgot. It must be important to her, though.
It looks like a sad memory.
Doesn't matter if it's sad. It's still important.
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry!
Yeah, okay. How do I... You know what? We'll just get as much information as
A
we
wall
can.
clock.
What? The time is...
The hands have stopped. A calendar.
Today's date is...
The calendar reads 5 years ago. Oh?
It's the phone. Maybe try picking it up?
Roger.
Husband, wrong number. To-go order?
My husband?
Oh, this
Yes,
is about the
Matsushita
incident.
Diner.
Oh no.
Yes? Well, yes. Yes? What? My husband! Why? How could this happen?
The diner has changed again. However,
These memories aren't all happy, but they are all significant.
if this continues, will it not have a negative effect on Mayumi?
Maybe. But we have to see this through. We have to.
Understood.
Okay, so let's F2. Oh no, we can't. We have to fail completely in order to be able to get this. Congrats. Okay, I see cake.
A delicious cake.
I wonder who it's...
Congratulations, Ota. I'd imagine it would be Ota.
Congratulations, Ota!
I'm home.
Ota! Congratulations on getting into the university, son!
that scared me.
Congratulations!
Hooray! Congrats!
Hooray! Hooray!
Whoa, that is a big party hat. then he just put it on his head, apparently.
Ota was quite the spoiled child, wasn't he?
He definitely had a lot of growing up to do. But that's what makes him so important to Mayumi.
I see.
Less than 1 minute! Hurry!
Envelope?
It's an envelope. Some kind of mail? This is a bank statement. The
Death?
Matsushita family's loan.
Let's do our best. Let's burn it and throw it away. Let's do our best.
Let's do our best.
Okay, maybe I might be able to make this then.
Takaro.
We have to keep supporting Ota.
Okay. We'll work harder for Ota's dream.
Here's my question. Do they even know what Ota's dream is? Ota, did you ever tell them what your dream was?
We reproduced another painful memory.
No, not quite.
Are you certain? Mayumi was under a heavy burden of debt and stress running the diner.
That's true. But sometimes hardship is worth it.
Is that so?
Okay. What was the new section? Bucket. Ooh.
It's a sticker from a chocolate candy.
Welcome home! Did you get it for me?
It?
This is... Ota when he was small?
God, you already had that chocolate? Gonna try to...
Do you mean chocolate?
Yeah, Odoroki man, remember? Oh, that! Yes! Of course I bought it! Look, the Momonoke Man chocolate that you like!
Oh no.
Here you go. That's not it! Oh, honey, I thought you liked the Momonoke Man chocolate. No, I told you! It's Odoroki Man! Oh... Sorry, your mom can be such a dummy sometimes. You're not just a dummy, you're a super dummy idiot! Oh, well, you're right, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm
What?
a big dummy.
What?
I'll buy you a real Momonoke Man soon.
They really
Stupid.
spoiled him.
It's not Momonoke Man, it's Odoroki Man! I hate this! I hate you, Mom! What? Wait, Ota! Where did you go? Please, come out from hiding, Ota! Ota, I'm sorry. Mommy won't make any mistakes anymore, Ota! Ota! Come back! Ota!
Oh wow. Okay, this is a change.
Ota? Takaro? Don't leave me! Don't leave me alone! I am sorry, Ota! Ota! Takaro! I can't do this on my own. Don't leave me!
That's what happened.
Date, look at what you've done. If Mayumi wakes up after all this trauma,
I know it's risky, but we're here for a reason.
what are you planning?
We have to keep going. Just a little more to awaken her past.
But
If she loves her family this much, there has to be something. There has to be a precious memory hidden deep within.
is that your intuition?
It is.
Date!
A wall
30
clock.
seconds!
Advance time, turn back time. Oh god. Turn back time? I mean, we've been having more in the past. I don't know what the... It's like when Ota was born, maybe?
Welcome home! Did you get it for me?
We've gone back in time. Time is a precious resource, Date. Don't waste it.
Stop nagging me. I'll figure it out.
Oh, okay, so it was... I will never forget.
It's a sticker from a chocolate.
Welcome home! Did you get...
Okay, so... Hold on. I can't do anything else, hello? Can I not exit out of this? What?
Do you mean choc?
Yeah!
Okay, I mean, we're gonna fail this here. Because we need to redo this particular section again.
Date,
Okay, so
we
the-
can't.
No, we're not done yet.
Date,
We need to advance time. Because everything... Restart from sync point, number 4. Yes. Okay, so let's advance time. I mean, I guess if you're continually
Date.
going back
A
in
wall
time,
clock.
then we needed to go against the trend, so to speak.
Ota, sweetie!
Oh,
Mom!
the knife.
I... Huh?
We know we can be a hassle sometimes, so... Huh, Ota.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom. You know, I love you. Forever and ever. Me too, Ota. I love you both so much. I'll love you both no matter what. Oh, forever and ever. Oh, I'll never forget this. Oh.
Yeah! We are a family. We can do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Looks like it's okay to go back now.
yes, I agree. By the way, Date,
Hmm?
I admit, it is useful every now and then.
What is?
Your intuition.
Okay. With, what, 3 seconds to spare? Mayumi A acquired. Alright. Where does this get us? Still Tuesday. Central Hospital, 5:22 p.m.
Ota, I'm so sorry for worrying you.
Oh,
What
you're
do you
back in the
mean?
hospital now?
Your mother retracted her confession.
I'm so glad.
I don't understand how you was. Why
But
you
Mom,
back?
why did you think I did it?
About that.
I explained to Ota. On Sunday night, Mayumi was following the van driven by Ota in a taxi. But when the van was hijacked in the Famisto parking lot, Mayumi was at another convenience store nearby buying some chocolate. Because of that, she didn't see what happened. That's why Mayumi thought Ota was still in the van when it drove away. So she kept following it. The van drove all over Tokyo and eventually wound up in the warehouse district near the docks. Mayumi got out of the taxi and followed the van on foot. The van was later found at the Yokiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Mayumi walked into the warehouse and discovered the grisly scene.
A polar bear plucking out Iris's left eye? I was so terribly frightened. I panicked and ran. I'm sure that's when I dropped the chocolate. And I ran away from the warehouse as fast as I could. I just kept running and running. But while I was running, I had a thought. Maybe that polar bear was Ota. Because at the time, I thought Ota was the one driving the van. If Ota brought Iris to the warehouse, then Ota must have been the one in the suit. That's what I was thinking anyway.
So that's why.
I'm so sorry that Mom doubted you, Ota.
No, I understand. It's my fault for making you worry.
Ota.
But there's one thing I don't get. Why did you buy that chocolate when you were following me?
Oh, because...
You liked Todoroki Man chocolate when you were young, right, Ota?
Yeah. I was like the number 1 or 2 collector of the stickers in my elementary school class. I stuck some of my duplicates all around the diner, too.
You and Mayumi have strong memories of that chocolate, right?
Yeah. But I guess they're not all sweet memories. They're like chocolate, you know? Bittersweet. Makes my heart hurt a little.
That's not it! Oh, honey. I thought you liked the Momonoke Man chocolate.
No! I told you! It's Todoroki Man!
Oh. Sorry, your mom can be such a dummy sometimes.
You're not just a dummy, you're a super dummy idiot!
Oh, well, you're right, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm a big dummy. I'll buy you a real Momonoke Man soon.
Stupid! It's not Momonoke Man, it's Todoroki Man!
After I yelled at her, Mom immediately went to buy me another chocolate. My dad came back from buying some ingredients at the same time and they ran into each other. My dad really let me have it.
How dare you speak to your mother like that?
Because Mom is stupid.
You're stupid to call your mother stupid. Your mother bought you that to make you happy. You need to think about how she feels. I didn't raise you like that.
But...
When she comes back, you apologize. Do you understand?
My dad told me to apologize as soon as Mom came back. But the guilt... I hurt my mother, you know? That guilt in my heart, it didn't go away. Even after I apologized to her. After that, things got awkward with Mom. But a few days later, my dad came up with an idea.
Hey, Ota, how about this? You know Mother's Day is coming up. Why don't we get a gift for your mom, hmm?
A gift?
That was the first time I had ever heard my dad say something like that.
You know how Mom always takes care of us. We should think of a way to pay her back.
I'm sure my dad was trying to clear the air between all of us. So, on Mother's Day, I used my New Year's money I saved up to buy my mom that flower knife. And my dad saved up a little money to buy the floral apron. And when Mom got her gifts, she started bawling. Like full-on crying.
Oh, you boys. I don't deserve all this. Thank you, thank you.
You do deserve it, Mom. I'm proud that you're my mom. Right, Dad?
Oh, yes, Mom is the best mom in the world.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say cheese!
Sorry, I lost track of time. What were we talking about again?
The Todoroki Man chocolate. Why she bought the chocolate in the middle of tailing you.
Tailing?
Mom.
It could be due to her memory disorder. It is possible that her thought process was once again short-circuited.
Ota, I'm just going out on a limb here.
Huh?
Earlier I looked inside Mayumi's head.
Inside her head?
She was thinking of nothing but you. Her head was full of memories of you. Mayumi just wanted you to come back, Ota. So she bought that chocolate. The chocolate you loved as a kid. She thought she could get you back home with it. That's why I believe, in Mayumi's head, you're still young, Ota.
Huh?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, you're right, Date. That's why my mom bought the chocolate. She wanted her little kid back.
Oh, okay, I'm in control? Okay, what happens now?
I was always so selfish. I made my mom go through such hard times. So from now on, I'm going to support her the way she supported me. I'll do anything. I'll deliver newspapers or be a janitor or anything. I'll work as hard as I can to make sure my mom can rest easy.
What about your dream of being an author?
Well, of course I'm not gonna give up on that. But I'll set my sights a little smaller. I'll start by writing a short story.
Let me read it when you're done.
Of course.
One last thing.
Oh, I forgot to tell you something important.
Something important?
I heard the nurses talking before I came in here. Iris is awake.
Really?
Yeah, she's due to be transferred from the ICU to the general ward.
Thank God.
You saved her life, you know. Maybe, just maybe.
Huh? Maybe what?
Nothing. See you, kid.
It's too bad she still has a brain tumor in her head. It's not exactly resolved.
Is Iris your girlfriend?
Yeah, I'll introduce you next time. She's a great girl.
Oh my, I'm looking forward to it. Is she going to be your financier? Oh, maybe I should clean up a bit first.
What?
Financer? Oh, fiancé.
Oh yes, yes, that's it.
Jeez, Mom.
Okay, happy ending for Ota Mayumi. Where's this gonna go? This has like the strange end of story type of thing, but you know, not as sad as...
There are still many loose ends in this investigation.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like another all-nighter.
Okay, yeah, is this an ending? Yeah. It's such a strange and this happy ending story for Ota and Mayumi. A really strange one. Okay, let's skip through this. I mean, I was thinking when doing Mayumi's thing, like, this seems like almost what was happening with Iris. Okay, 10:31, so are we straight back? Oh, wait.
Has there been any progress in the Tsujima investigation?
Okay, so it's
None.
not.
Zero clue.
Not
Interesting.
exactly. We have 2 clues.
2?
2 points of information. But they may not connect directly to the murders.
What are the 2 clues?
Point 1. This may be easier to see than explain. I sent a video to the boss's PC. Could you check there, please?
The boss went to her desk and moved her mouse. I stood next to her and looked at the monitor.
What's this?
It's from Sunday night.
Yes, after Date was beaten by Ota at Matsushita Diner.
Tessa, wait! I'll get the car.
Okay, it's whatever Iris said to
You witch!
Mayumi, right?
There, stop it. I noticed this earlier as well. Do you see the walk on the floor beside Iris and Mayumi?
Yeah, what about it?
Look closely. The bottom part is curved. Do you notice anything in the reflection?
Iris and Mayumi.
Yes. I have prepared an enlarged and processed version of the image. Boss, the next video.
You gonna be reading lips?
You witch!
What?
You stay away from my boy!
Tessa! What's wrong? Did something happen?
No, everything's fine.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, so
Ota.
what?
Hey, what's this?
Iris has the kitchen knife?
The video continues, but this should be enough. Iris took the knife and left the diner with Ota.
But if Ota's testimony is true, the polar bear had the kitchen knife.
Maybe it was taken off of Iris when she was kidnapped.
At the Femisto parking lot? Whatever, we can think about it later. You said you had 2 clues.
Yeah, what's the other one?
I have learned new information. More thorough autopsy results of Renju's body have revealed something. An object in his intestines.
An object?
A clump of organic matter. Because it was partially digested, it took significant time to analyze.
Well, what was it?
Shoko Nadami's eyeball.
Huh? Ota route end. Okay, so is that particularly the end of the flow chart? Would you like to save? Yes. What in the world? What is happening? Okay, save on 2. Actually, what is the... 2 seems to be the oldest save, so yeah, let's save on 2. Okay. Alright then. Right, so I mean, their only path to check out. So I have end of route here and end of route here, a happy end of route. But nothing to do specifically with the investigation. I'm not sure why the investigation would technically just end there either. Considering... Unless like the trail has gone cold, so to speak. Okay, so we need to do Ota's sync again. And we're going on the red gate route. So will I be able to skip a lot of the beginning here? Is this the same thing? Sorry, I'm seeing... Why is there an oil drum over her head? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Sorry, I just saw the oil drum over her head and I had no idea. I don't recall that, so this must be the route we're going to be taking here. Yeah, so let's skip all this. Break the ice.
Curse you, polar!
Oh, still have to... Okay. Now really, I just want to see if I can get a... No, okay. Too much time for that, so let's just break the ice right away.
The ice on the
So let's punch it.
This is for Dot!
Skip all this. So we need to... Green shelf. Sorry, the red shelf.
A plate attached to the shelf. The cold has frosted.
Okay, breathe on. Let's... There's D.
Yeah, D's don't really do it for me. They have to be at least an F.
What?
There is no end to your desire.
Well, back to work.
There seems to be nothing here.
Okay, so it's not like...
Agent Date,
An
you've got
oil
4
drum,
minutes.
though it is...
Roll? Fill with what? Oh, okay. If we can roll it, then maybe we'll crash into the red shelf. Very slowly. Just wait here.
Acetone? Acet? What is this?
I don't want to die! I eventually stopped thinking. Tessa! Stand your ground! Oda Matsushita cowers to no one!
And just realizing now, you can actually see the details of the flowers on the knife. I just wasn't paying attention, I guess.
I have to fight back with something!
Okay, well, we have this crane thing here.
A remote control. It fell when Ota ran.
Press button, break.
Nothing is happening.
Maybe there's no power.
Oh, what?
You have 3 minutes, Date.
Oh, turn on the electricity. Man, I just wasted, very sad about that.
It appears to be a power panel.
Throw something. Guess let's throw something. Do I have enough time for that? I don't think I do. $240
I can make it now.
What do you mean you can make it now?
Sailing?
Okay, I think I need to...
Float!
Enough.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna have enough time for this at all.
It appears to be
Okay,
a power.
so I'm gonna have to... I think I'm gonna have to go back
This is an ice cold one.
after she breaks the
Aiba,
puddle.
aim for the switch.
Position target in the center and hit the switch. Position target in the center and hit the switch.
Okay, but that's gonna take away all the time, right?
Now it will move!
Do I have to watch all this again?
I can't stand. I'm weak.
Did he really help Iris like that?
Regardless of the truth.
And this is the
Right
same.
now, I am Ota's last hope. I have to help him up.
This isn't.
Okay, but then all that time is gonna...
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry!
Oh no! What? I clearly do not know how the time saver thing works. Okay, come
Ota
on.
looks frightened. He cannot stand.
Oh, hi, Regulator. Yeah, I've been playing for an hour and 43 minutes. Encourage.
You're
Where's the
so
cheer?
cool, my shiny, glittery Ota. So cool.
The ghost inside me whispered. Yeah, I am cool, huh?
I don't think those ones... Any
From
of
now
those
on,
matter.
this is
No
my
matter what, you're
stage.
gonna get the good result. But yeah, apparently this game does have a happy ending with... though it doesn't have nothing to do with the case.
This!
Jesus! Ow! Oh my god! Are you sure there what blood evidence was there for this? Oh, we're gonna take off.
Date, you've hit the limit. Time's up.
Wait! I can almost make out their face!
Pewter, force shutdown.
Stop! Stop it!
What do you... There's something strange about seeing a happy smiling polar bear stab someone. Wait, so not all that... See, there, I was wondering, I'm like, if there was bloodstains, wouldn't we know? But then, if there's forensics, would they not have detected that was it just some kind of blood? Did they test it? I have no idea. It's still early in the investigation. Alright, we've encouraged Ota. We've opened up the second path of this particular sink. Alright, day 4 Monday. So far, I still haven't
What were you thinking? You can only stay in Somnium for 6 minutes. Any longer and you risk getting your mind completely taken over by the subject.
I know.
No, you clearly don't. This isn't just about you, Date. If your consciousness erodes inside of Somnium, you put the subject in danger as well.
If I may? Fortunately, there were no abnormalities detected in the brainwaves after the sync. Date and Ota both read normal. Although, the timing was really close.
What was I supposed to do? You saw it, boss. You too, Pewter. I was about to see the culprit's face.
Not necessarily. We need to verify that Ota did in fact see the culprit's face. That's the only way it could have ended up in his Somnium.
Well, Ota?
Huh?
You saw the killer's face at the warehouse, didn't you?
No,
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see their face. If I did, I would have told you guys already.
You see?
I mean, I did try to get a look at them when the polar bear fell over. They looked like they were knocked out, so I tried to grab the head part. But as soon as I did, I got stabbed in my gut.
That is what we witnessed in his Somnium.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, you guys don't have like a fail-safe or something that if it gets to 6 minutes, the machine will automatically pull you out? Or could you not program... Pewter, could you not program that? I thought you were good at your job. I thought you were great. I thought you were so awesome at what you created.
I know it was dangerous to sink past the time limit. That was my fault, and I'm sorry.
Are you really sorry?
Yes.
Then you owe me some Dom P at my favorite club in Kabukicho. Or, you can lick my shoes. Either or.
I vow to never apologize for anything ever again. Is there... Okay, she's kind of... If that's her kink, I guess. Pewter?
It's all right. As I mentioned earlier, both your brainwaves are normal. However, I'm sure there was some overload. You should go home and get some rest.
Especially in this one, there was like all this talk about the time limit. How are you feeling?
I've been better. I'm still a little drowsy.
What about your stab wound?
My what? Oh! Oh, it hurts. It started acting up suddenly. Ow! It's because you grabbed me and forced me to come here, Date!
Don't blame me, that was Boss.
I'll sue you for this!
Oh, come on.
Or, how about this? Get me one of the straws Tessa used, and I won't sue you.
What?
I see Ota is back to his healthy self.
What is
Guess
wrong
so.
with you? Okay, why were you hiding the knife? I can't read it because... About the hook in the polar bear's leg, how about this?
Ota, let me ask you something. When you were fighting the polar bear back at the warehouse, Did the crane hook get stuck on the polar bear's leg?
Now that you mention it, maybe it did.
Maybe?
It's like I told you. I don't really remember much. With all the tension and excitement and fear and adrenaline, my mind just went blank. But now that we're talking about it, I remember. Yeah, no doubt about it. The crane hook got stuck on the polar bear's left leg. And then, when the hook got pulled out, blood sprayed all over.
Date, I checked all of the hospitals in the metropolitan area. None have a record of a patient admitted after 3 a.m. with a wound to the left leg.
If what I saw in Somnium is how it happened in real life, that was a deep wound. He definitely would have needed first aid.
Perhaps a friend or accomplice helped them.
You think there are multiple killers?
That is not what I said. They may have helped the culprit, but not necessarily been involved in the crimes.
I relayed the information to Boss Computer. I mean, well, we know she's out because if there's a wound on her leg. Computer. You? How about you? I don't know. Everyone's a suspect.
Because I was scared.
Except for Mayumi, Ota.
Scared?
The killer could come here to finish the job.
But you didn't get a good look at their face, right?
But they don't know that. I had it prepared just in case. You know what I'm talking about, right, Date? Preparing in advance in case you might need it. Like making sure your room is nice and clean before you go to a party. Oh, sorry. You probably don't have any experience with that.
I see that smirk.
I have more experience than you.
So we know that the culprit has a deep wound on their left leg. That information could be crucial in catching them.
Date, get out there. Look for people with an injured left leg.
That is...
How exactly?
Can't you just go ask around or something?
Are you serious? Do you know how many people live in this city?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What?
Brainwave.
Date, what is the matter?
Date!
Are you alright?
Okay. Tuesday? Yep, there we go. "8:02 a.m. He passed out. That's how he wakes up.
This is...
Oh, you're alive.
Yusuke? What happened?
You drank too much at the club and passed out.
Liar. I remember everything until I collapsed in the control room.
You did something dangerous during the sink last night, didn't you? Your brain got overloaded and you passed out. That's what Pewter and Boss said.
You met them?
They brought you over. They said to let you sleep it off because you were tired from the investigation.
There's no, you don't want to have it checked over? I don't know, you guys don't have a medical? I guess not. Sure, we'll just let him sleep it off, make sure there's no adverse effects that you can check over while he's sleeping off in his own apartment, whatever, okay. Where's Oda?
He probably went back to the hospital.
Boss told Mizuki about Ota being synced. And about what happened at the cold storage warehouse.
Why did she tell her all that?
Mizuki was asking about the status of the investigation. The girl has lost both her parents. I am sure Boss felt that she deserved to know.
Is Boss afraid of being punched in the face by Mizuki? She's strong, everyone keeps saying she's really strong.
Oh, Date's brain is rotting away. He won't last long now. You should probably prepare for a funeral soon.
So they told you I'm completely fine, huh?
I detect no noticeable damage to your brain. You should not have any issue continuing the investigation.
Thanks, Aiba. Don't you have school?
I'm off today.
Why? Today's Tuesday, you should have school.
You really can be an insensitive jerk, can't you? I'm taking the day off for mourning.
Okay. Oh, you're okay. We're really going. Okay, we're gonna see both her dead parents.
I see.
Well, time to get back to work.
Hey, will you take me with you?
Top, Mizuki.
I told you yesterday, Mizuki. I won't put you in danger like that.
But you're close to catching the culprit, right? The killer has an injury on their left leg. Boss said you need to find them. Let me help you.
No, you stay here.
Date, don't you know how I feel? My parents are dead. I saw their bodies with my own eyes. If I don't do something, I'm going to go crazy. Date, please.
Date, consider Mizuki's feelings. She is lonely. Mizuki has not been with Renju and Shoko for 4 years. But clearly, she still feels a bond to them. A bond that was broken by the murderer. With her parents gone, Mizuki has almost no one. She can only depend on one person now. You know to whom I am referring.
Oh my god, we're actually. I mean, I understand the reason, but at the same time, let's bring the 12-year-old child with us on the murder investigation.
Fine, let's go.
Stay in the car.
You're gonna take me?
Stay in the car.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stay in the car.
Thank you, Date.
Stay in the car. No, you're gonna actually bring her out to the scene. Okay. I got up, grabbed the towel from the sink, and tossed it at Mizuki.
Here, wipe your tears. We're heading out.
Why'd you say it like that? Date. Mizuki quickly dabbed her eyes with the towel and smiled weakly.
Date, I must admit, I am at a disadvantage. The clue that the culprit is injured on their left leg does not help me narrow down suspects significantly.
We need to revisit the scene. It's possible that we might find the culprit at one of the crime scenes.
Or ask around the city for further information.
Okay. Oh my god. There's so much. Bloom Park. Did we go to the Ikume Shrine during this? I remember from the other branch, but I'm not sure about this one. I actually cannot remember. Okay. To me, it makes more sense to first go to the cold storage warehouse.
This is where Iris and Ota almost got killed, right? It gives me goosebumps.
You scared? That's rare. You need to chill.
You need to get better jokes.
Oh, I understand. Chill, meaning both cold and relax. A pun intended.
Don't explain it, it's embarrassing.
Okay.
Ota was down around here, right?
Correct.
The bloodstains there must belong to Ota.
Correct.
No, wait. That's where the polar bear's leg was pierced by the hook.
Okay, let's look at it again.
Date, I've analyzed the blood. The bloodstain here is not from a single person. 2 different blood types are present. One of them is most likely Ota's. The other...
Hey, do you have DNA forensics on that blood stain?
Of course, yeah. I already sent it to the lab to be analyzed. I'm just waiting to hear back.
Why are you waiting?
Because that blood is from Ota Matsushida's wound, right? I didn't think there was any need to rush the results.
Tell them we need it analyzed urgently. Highest priority. The culprit's blood is mixed with Ota's.
Yes, sir. Understood.
You did it, Date. We're making progress.
If this goes well, we can identify the criminal with a single test.
Okay.
But it might take some time for the results to come out. No point waiting here. We might as well check somewhere else.
Got it.
Okay. Where else? Oh god. Yes, let's bring her back to the murder scenes. Marble? I really don't remember what happened during this route already. All my memories, all the branches are jumbled up together.
So that's the situation.
I see. Someone with an injured left leg, huh?
Yep. Know anybody?
Sorry, no idea.
Damn. I thought you, of all people, would know something.
Why?
I am an informant, but really dangerous information doesn't just come rolling in here. But I promise, I'll keep my eye out for anything.
Please do.
My question is, would that be...
And if I find something, you have to take a bath with me.
Absolutely not.
Oh, why not?
Because you take up all the hot water.
That's your issue?
I promise I won't. I'll even take the costume off.
It's a costume?
Mm-hmm. And I look good without it.
Okay. Know anything about...
I've looked into it, but I still don't have anything useful for you. The case is still as fresh as a young man's juices.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Okay, I think it's time we go. Let's go. Off we go. Okay, time to go.
Thanks for the chat, Mama.
Oh, leaving already?
Got an investigation?
I have an investigation to finish, but I'll be back.
You are so impatient, even though you take your time in bed.
Don't say things like that.
In bed? What does that mean?
You don't need to know. Let's go.
Alright. Off we go. Let's go to Bloom Park. I mean, we'll just go down the list, I guess. Or we could take her to, you know, go visit Ota and Iris. Well, no, Iris is still in operation. Never mind. Not Iris, but Ota.
I remember telling you before. That Bloom Park is an important part of my memories. Before it shut down, I came here a lot with Daddy and Mom. They fought a lot. But sometimes they got along. Whenever we were here, it was one of those sometimes days. I remember it clearly. I was just a little girl, but it was so rare to see them laughing together. That's why I remember it so well. I remember riding the merry-go-round like this. Mom was standing right next to me. She was holding me, so I wouldn't fall.
Okay. So I got a feeling, I guess this is more get to know Mizuki section. I don't know what we're gonna find in terms of, I mean, it's really the bloodstain that's really gonna help us here.
Daddy was on the outside taking pictures of me and Mom. He was on the other side of the fence with an old camera. Every time we passed in front of him, Mom and I would wave our hands. We sound like a happy family, huh?
He must have gotten good pictures.
No, actually. We tried developing them at the park, but they came out all blurry and out of focus. But Mom wasn't mad or upset or anything. She just started laughing. That might have been the first and last time the three of us laughed out loud together.
Say nothing? Why is that an option?
I couldn't get on many of them because I was so little. But I did ride the Ferris wheel. And the panda ride. They're kinda tame now, but at the time they were really fun. I was having so much fun it felt wrong. Like it was too good to be true. Other than last Friday? Nope. I haven't. This place has been off limits for almost a decade. Even if it wasn't, I don't think I would want to come back here.
Why is that?
How can I explain it? I guess I just wanted to keep that memory beautiful. I didn't want to ruin it or replace it with another. But in the end, it was replaced by the worst memory possible.
How old is Mizuki again? Like, I actually do not know. Because what they said, the incident, what happened 8 years ago? So, if she is 12, I mean, I said that 12, but I'm actually not quite sure. If 8 years ago, so she would have been, what, 4 years old? This memory? Maybe? I didn't say anything as Mizuki climbed down from the horse, okay. Then she asked me something strange.
Hey, Date? How do you define family?
Define it? You mean like being blood related?
That would mean you and I could never be family. Well, I guess that's okay.
It's okay.
This is what I think. A family is a perfectly ordinary relationship in the most ordinary way.
Huh?
Like, you say, I'm home, and you get a welcome home back. Doing those ordinary things automatically, without even thinking about it, is what a family is. That's why maybe me and Mom and Daddy weren't able to be a family. Our whole lives, we never could be ordinary. Even if I tried my hardest to be normal, it would just be awkward. Eventually, I got tired of trying. I killed them.
What?
I killed Mom and Daddy.
Mizuki, no.
I was never a good girl. I didn't listen to Mom. I couldn't do ordinary things. That's why Mom hit me. And why Mom and Daddy didn't get along. And why they got divorced. Then Mom had to start working. And start doing business with dangerous people. If I was just a good girl, Mom wouldn't have been killed. All of this, is all my fault.
Why me?
Hey, haven't you had enough?
Why me?
I'm not married, so take this with a grain of salt, but it's not just you, right? Doesn't every family have a tough time raising children?
Our child is abnormal!
Abnormal?
Ever since she was a baby, no child should cry at night as much as she did. No child should dislike buggy rides that much. No child should ask to be picked up and hugged all the time. She's still abnormal even now. Other children would have learned to clean up after themselves by now. They would be studying, going to bed on time, waking up on time. Yet why is my little girl?
She sounds like a normal kid to me. Maybe the problem isn't with Mizuki. Maybe it's you.
I'm doing more than anyone! Our child is stupid, brain dead, abnormal!
Date, honey, you can't work her up like that.
Okay, wow. Shoko, you clearly don't know children. Where's Mizuki now? Yeah, where'd you leave your daughter?
Sleeping at home, not knowing that her mother is crying her eyes out because of her.
Oh my god, this lady. Alright. You wanna call it a night?
What? Why? I finally get some time to myself and you want to end it?
Date, really? Just let her talk a little longer.
Well, can I just say, she's not the most enjoyable company right now.
I quit my job for that girl. I threw away the career that I built with my own hands. I raised my child at the expense of my own life. But one little slap.
Are you hitting your kid?
There's nothing I can do. I have no choice. I know you should never raise your hand to a child. I know that. But I have a good reason. She doesn't listen to me, so what else am I supposed to do?
What the hell do you mean, what am I supposed to do? That's no reason to hit a child.
So of course she starts crying. And it's so irritating that I have to hit her again to get her to stop. And Mizuki cries and cries some more. Why are you crying? If you're gonna cry, why didn't you just listen to me in the first place? Then I wouldn't have to hit you. Stupid Mizuki. Stupid girl. It's not my fault. Everything is her fault.
Have you talked to Renju about this?
I'm trying. I'm trying harder than anyone. Why doesn't anyone see that? Why doesn't anyone understand?
Date.
Yeah, I'll talk to Renju about this.
It was my misunderstanding.
What do you mean?
I thought that mothers love their children unconditionally. But some mothers just can't do that. Well, no. Maybe she does love her. But she has a hard time of it. Shoko was never hugged by her mother. Not because her mother wasn't around. She was raised to never develop a sensitivity to affection. No hugs, no piggyback rides, nothing. Maybe that's why she doesn't know how to love Mizuki.
Oh god.
When an animal raised in captivity gives birth, sometimes it just doesn't know how to raise its young. It's just like that.
Okay. Well, now that explains Shoko's I mean, I don't know what to call it.
But that doesn't mean she's blameless in all this. Someone has to put a stop to it.
If I could have, I would have done it a long time ago.
What about counseling?
I did recommend that. She told me, I'm not sick. Why should I go see a doctor? Mizuki is the problem. Mizuki is the sick one.
Okay, is this probably the reason why Mizuki lives with Date then?
No, Mizuki would never leave Shoko. She wouldn't hear of it.
Okay,
Mizuki and Shoko are practically attached at the hip.
Even with all of the hitting?
Yes. Even if she's abused on a daily basis, even if she's treated like garbage... Maybe. Mizuki is hungry for love. She craves praise and attention and physical affection. She wants it from her mother. That's why she's so attached. I have a company now.
Lemniscate.
And we're at a crucial stage of development. I can't take even a single second out of my day to deal with a kid.
Hey, that's your daughter you're talking about. Maybe because you two can't cooperate on raising a child, Shoko is having trouble coping.
That might be it. Maybe this is partially my fault.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say it. You two are both awful parents. I knew about the whole thing. That's why 4 years ago, I decided to start taking care of Mizuki. Mizuki, you did nothing wrong. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. Not one single thing was your fault.
Okay, well. Okay, so I mean, I don't know, I'm curious like how Date or it's like, hey, yeah, you know what? You're not having this you guys can't be with this child anymore. You really can't. I'm assuming they just had a child because it was the thing to do when you have a family, whatever, but actual no discussion or research into, you know, how much a child costs, you know, the amount of time and energy, because that is 18 plus years, maybe more, especially with our economy. Hey, either way, let's go to Ikume Shrine. Oh, right. I had to click. I always forget that.
Huh? Why are we at the shrine? Did you come here to pray that you find the criminal?
No, I don't believe in God.
Wow, how edgy teen of you.
Don't call me a teen. You're 12.
Okay, she
Well, you said that you got the shoulders of a 40-year-old.
That's not even remotely similar.
So why are we really here?
I sometimes come here when an investigation stalls. It helps me think. Sometimes I even solve the case from here. This is a quiet, peaceful little spot in the middle of a violent city. It's calming. It keeps all of the bad thoughts away.
Didn't expect you to be such a poet.
You could at least call me a romantic.
Same thing.
They're not at all the same thing. It's the difference between someone who's frugal and someone who's cheap.
You're stubborn about weirdly specific things.
Okay. What are you gonna talk about? Oh, yeah.
Coming here reminds me of when I trained you.
Yeah. It's been a while since we came here last.
I have nothing more to teach you. Let us see the results of your training.
Leave it to me!
Begin!
What did that tree do to you?
How's that?
Well, this is on you.
Huh?
Hey! What are you two doing?
Mizuki! Run for it!
Oh my god, he even does it with the accent too. Okay, why did we come here again? Because clearly it has nothing to do with the investigation, but maybe I guess just some downtime. Hey, we visited the place where your mom died, where your mom was found murdered, or at least her body.
By the way, whatever happened to those kids who bullied you?
Oh, did I not tell you?
No, you haven't said anything about it. I didn't want to pry.
They stopped bugging me as soon as I threatened to fight back. They targeted some other kids instead. They did terrible things. So I broke all their front teeth.
Jeez.
Hey, since we're here, let's go into the shrine.
I told you, I don't believe in that stuff.
Come on. Come on.
It's not for you, Date, it's for her.
What did you ask for?
To leave this boring place as soon as possible. And you?
It's a secret. When you tell people your wish, it won't come true.
Then why did you ask me?
Because if your dream doesn't come true, mine is more likely to.
You're more crooked than a hernia.
That's rather savage of her.
Anyway, where to next?
Okay, we're done with this place? Yep. Alright, a little downtime. You know, let's go with the sunfish. Let's just get this out of the way. Is it back up and running already? Would it be? I was about to ask, would people continue to visit even though this is the site of a murder, but like... I don't know if some of those guys are really, like, wanted to spend money on those girls. Possibly. Okay, it's still shut down. They visited some fish pocket with Mizuki, where Renju was killed. Once again, I looked for any clues we might have missed.
I guess it was a waste of time.
Yeah, I didn't find any clues.
Memory? Here you go.
Because this is where Daddy's corpse was? I told you before, it's fine. I was the one who said I wanted to come with you, so... Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing we can do here.
Oh, okay, so no talk or anything. Alright, let's go to Lemnis Gate. Alright. Oh yeah, can we check out his office? Do you have any memories of Renju?
Sometimes we would talk when I came over to hang out.
What kind of things did you talk about?
Nothing special. The usual.
The usual?
Are you doing well? Have you been eating right?
Huh. So that's the usual. Mizuki, could you go to the office? Ask them if they've seen anyone with an injured left leg.
Got it.
Alright, that's what we're looking for. Totally forgot. Mizuki ran into the office. After a while, she returned dejected.
Looks like it didn't go well.
No.
Here you go, ask. Have you seen anyone?
Nope, sorry. But I did see a guy who had legs like a horsehair crab.
What? Sounds horrifying.
Okay, is that it? Oh my god, everything is about her. Let's check out the office.
Good idea. You might find something important in there.
Mizuki and I investigate Renju's office, but I didn't find anything that could be a clue. Okay, that's it.
Damn, no hits.
Do not be discouraged. Bad days and sore feet are part of the job.
I mean, assuming we're just
Time to
waiting
earn
on
my
the
paycheck, I guess.
the blood analysis. All right, Central Hospital. Hello, let's visit your friends. Both of them were almost murdered.
Mizuki! And Date.
Ota, are you okay?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I don't want to get in your way. I should head home before I cause any more trouble.
No, not at all. You're fine right here.
No, really, I should go. I'm sure that he has more fun with his friends than with me. So...
Mayumi quickly shuffled out of the room.
Thanks, Mizuki.
Huh?
You came to visit me, right?
Oh, yeah. Right.
It would be awkward to admit we are only here for the investigation.
Yeah.
Friends forever. So, Ota, how are you doing?
I heard that you fought off the killer and saved Iris. That's so cool, Ota. You have a wound of honor.
No, not really. Well, I guess a little. Calling me a hero. It's kind of embarrassing.
I didn't call you a hero.
It is a good thing Iris was saved, but he's still irritating.
Even more irritating than seeing cosplay in public.
Okay. About Iris?
Have you heard about Iris? The nurse was talking about her a minute ago.
That she's still in the ICU? Yeah. Apparently the surgery went well, but she hasn't woken up yet.
Hey, Ota. Next time we should fold 1,000 paper cranes. To wish that Iris will get better.
Yeah. We could even make her a life-size crane.
That would be a somewhat troublesome gift.
Right, I'm assuming they went to check the hospital records themselves or something, but either way, see ya.
Yeah, let's go.
There's only one last place to visit.
You just got here.
It's okay. We saw you. Now we can go.
It's cold.
We already have Ota's testimony. It is unlikely he has any further useful information.
So let's go.
Right.
Come on. Give me that.
Where to now, Date?
Give me the map.
Let's see.
I mean, there's only one last place. Let's see if we're gonna sprout something up. Alright, do we got the DNA? Not DNA. Well, maybe it comes with DNA, but the blood analysis results? Oh, okay, never mind. We're having a conversation in the car. Or not.
Date, a call from boss. Shall I connect you?
No, wait. If I take the call, Mizuki might ask questions.
Are you talking to yourself again? Do you need to go to the hospital?
Exactly.
I can put it on speaker.
Please.
Date, are you with Mizuki right now?
Yes, what's up?
I need you to come to Abyss headquarters with Mizuki.
I was just heading there. Did something happen?
Yeah, the head office is here. They want to get information from Mizuki. We here at Abyss have her testimony, but the rest of the MPD wants to hear from her. They didn't get anything from her last time. They want to do an official questioning.
Shake her head?
This order comes straight from the top. We don't have the power to say no. So, please.
You heard her.
I don't want to. I want to keep investigating.
There's nothing we can do. We can't fight the power of the state.
You are the power of the state.
Abyss is a toenail on the foot of the state. As far as they're concerned, we don't really do anything, and we don't have any say in what they do. And anytime we get too troublesome, they cut us off.
Why? Oh, stupid Date.
Okay, now she's turning away from us. Alright. Police headquarters, 3:57 p.m.
Sorry for the trouble.
Don't worry about it. I'm just a slave to you anyway.
Oh, come on. I don't treat you like a slave, do I? Just because I sometimes make you lick between my toes?
What?
Ew, what?
I didn't lick anything.
Anyway,
Why
thanks,
is your
Date.
boss like this, Date?
And don't worry about Mizuki. I told HQ to take it easy.
Mizuki, just make sure you behave and listen.
It'll be over soon, don't worry. Besides that, Date, there's something I have to tell you. You have a message from one of the inspectors at the warehouse. He wants to give you some information in person at the warehouse.
Could he have...
The blood results?
I'll head over right away. Mizuki, you be a good girl, okay?
Ugh.
Jeez.
$443?
Date, sorry to make you come all the way down here, but I have the results of the DNA analysis.
What did you
still
find?
have email?
It's just like you said, there were 2 different blood signatures. One is definitely from Ota Matsushita. Other.
Huh?
Well, we got the results, but we couldn't find any matches in our database.
That is not surprising. HQ does not have a complete record of everyone's DNA.
What now? What now?
Do not panic. I have a piece of information I think you should know.
What is it?
I have discovered a suspicious person at your 12 o'clock. 200 yards.
Is that so
He's looking this way.
Person?
Is that so Sajima? Yep, she's just standing there looking at us.
That's...
So Sajima.
I don't believe it.
Oh.
His left leg.
Huh?
So Sajima! Stop!
You would have enough money to get personalized care.
Damn it! Ugh! It's him. So's the culprit.
Calm down. We cannot yet make that conclusion. He was only dragging his left leg.
But he's been all over this case so far. Shoko and Renju are both in bed with the Kumakuras, and the Kumakuras know So. And not just that. We saw him in Iris's Somnium.
Still.
And he has no alibi. No alibi for Shoko, Renju, or the warehouse.
Date, calm down. The only thing we have so far is circumstantial evidence. We also do not have any established motive. Why would he kill Shoko and Renju? Why would he cut out Iris's eyeball?
Well...
However, I do agree that So is suspicious.
Do you agree with me or not?
I am explaining to you that we currently do not have enough evidence to bring him in. Confronting him now would only result in him denying everything. We need direct evidence.
Direct evidence.
The criminal's blood from the cold storage warehouse. If the DNA matches So's...
Right. We need to get So's DNA.
The question is, how?
Alright, how can we get So's DNA? Kumakura's office, So's house, Lemnis Gate. Well, I mean, we're not gonna be led to the house. Kumakura's office.
Hey, Aiba. Do you remember when we went to the Kumakura's office Sunday?
Of course. I am incapable of forgetting anything.
Then let me ask you a question. What was on the table in front of the sofa?
The cigarette butts. So was smoking those cigarettes.
Exactly. and So's saliva might still be on the butts. If we have that, we have So's DNA.
Wait a moment. That was 2 days ago. The ashtray must have been emptied by now.
But there's a chance. We have to at least try.
I agree.
All right, let's head there.
"5:34 p.m.
Hey, what are you doing here?
You fucking with us, old man?
Date, don't bother.
I know.
I approached the sofa without saying anything. Yep, it's cleared. Looked at the ashtray on the table, but...
Hey, where are the cigarette butts that were in here?
Huh?
The cigarette butts, from when I was here a few days ago.
We threw them away, of course, dumbass.
Where, dumbass?
Why do you care about some cigarettes?
I need them for the investigation of the new Cyclops serial killings.
I see. Just last morning, I heard there was a new victim. I didn't watch it, but I heard something about it being streamed online.
Oh, we don't know he's a fan.
Poor girl got one of her eyes cut out. I know that, idiot. Sorry. And you're here for the investigation?
Yes.
So if I cooperate, he'll help you arrest this guy?
Correct.
All right. Look around as much as you want.
Huh?
That was easy.
You said you were looking for cigarette butts, right?
Yeah, the one So was smoking.
So Sajima? You think he did it?
No, nothing for sure yet.
Hey guys, where's the cigarettes that were in here?
Probably in the trash in the back, boss.
Bring me the one that So was smoking.
Yes, sir.
The henchman went into the back room. They soon came back with 4 cigarette butts in a plastic bag. I used the disposable chopsticks to lay them out on the table.
I didn't touch them.
I'm being considerate, I see. But why did you bring 4?
There were a couple of other cigarette butts in the bin.
I didn't know which one So smoked.
MoMA?
I don't remember.
But So's cigarette is definitely one of these?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Date, remember the brand that So was smoking?
Right. He was smoking.
I don't know. But was I supposed to see? Excuse me? Klein?
Klein. I remember. So was smoking a Klein cigarette.
Was I actually okay?
Correct.
I was like, you know what? This sounds the most sophisticated quotation mark. I wrapped the Klein cigarette butt in my handkerchief and pocketed it. No plastic bags, of course. Your DNA is all over the handkerchief.
Let's return to Abyss.
Of course,
Computer
it doesn't
should be
matter
able
because
to
you're
get
looking
DNA
for
from it.
specifically his, I guess, right?
Got it.
Still.
Looks like you found it.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Ah, this was nothing. Anything for Tessa.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa? Did you just say Tessa?
What are you talking about, you Neanderthal? I said anything for Tesseract.
What?
That doesn't even make sense.
Shut up! If you're done here, get your ass going.
All right. Whatever you say.
You know, the way those henchmen are reacting makes me think that they know. They know. 6:45.
I'm counting on you, Pewter.
You can leave it to me.
Peter took the cigarette butt from me.
If the DNA on that cigarette butt matches the bloodstain in the warehouse,
There would be no doubt that So Sejima is our mysterious polar bear.
how long will it take to analyze?
If I had 6 hours...
You've got 3.
That's totally unreasonable. But I suppose... I will do my best to have this analyzed in 3 hours.
You folded pretty easily on that one.
I want to catch the criminal as soon as possible. That's all. Now, because time is of the essence, excuse me.
How is Mizuki, by the way?
They finished questioning her. I had one of the officers take her home. She should be there by now.
Good.
So, Sejima. I can't believe it, of all people.
We don't know that for sure yet.
But you saw that his leg was injured, right? It's pretty damning evidence.
Don't be too hasty, boss.
You were saying the same thing earlier.
Anyway, let's wait for the results. That will clear everything up.
Yeah, you're right. I hope this won't be trouble.
Trouble?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
9:26 p.m. 3 hours later.
Pewter, is it true? The results are in?
Yes, the DNA I collected from the cigarette butt is a positive match to the bloodstain from the warehouse.
Really? It was So all along. He was the polar bear. He carved out Iris's eye and stabbed Oda. And probably killed Renju and Shoko.
Making So Sejima the new Cyclops killer.
Thank you, Pewter.
Don't thank me yet. Hurry up and get So.
Yeah, you're right.
I turned around and made my way to the exit, but right when I was about to open the door, it was opened from the other side.
Boss. Boss, listen. The bloodstain in the cold storage warehouse.
I know. I got a report from Pewter.
Well, then you already know. I'm heading there right now.
Is he found
Heading
dead?
where?
Where else? To So's house.
Date, I'm sorry, but you can't do that.
What?
I can't let you get So.
Boss, I don't understand.
This comes from the top. So and the head office have been tight-knit for 20 years now. They can't go against So's wishes. It's corruption and bribes to be sure, but there's also some kind of blackmail.
Blackmail?
So knows something. Something that the public can never know. If that secret got out, the authority of law would be thrown into question, and the entire police force would be at risk.
So has something on HQ?
Yes, almost certainly. That's why I can't let you go. Do you understand?
Hell no.
I see. Then I'm sorry, but I have no choice but to take you off this case.
Hey, boss, come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me!
I had enough and pushed past boss and left the room. I walked with a confident stride down the hall with no hesitation. I had made up my mind. I was going to So Sejima's mansion. I got into my car, turned the key, and slammed my foot on the gas.
Date, are you sure you want to do this? You still have a chance to turn around. If you put your hands on So, you will never be able to return to Abyss.
I don't care. I don't want to work for a rotten organization in the pocket of some politician. When this is over, I'll open a restaurant in Okinawa or something.
Wait!
Oh, should I make it a soba place instead?
That's not what I mean. You have a video message.
The video?
Look!
Damn it.
Mizuki!
I was like, it's gonna be. I was thinking in my head, it's gonna be Mizuki. Ugh. Okay, 10:08 p.m.
Mizuki! Mizuki! Where are you? Don't worry, I'll find you.
What? Where are you? Under the bed? I looked under the bed, no one there. There is like...
Date, not that! The voice is coming from the...
opposite direction? Seriously.
Date, the hollow space in the speaker. Perhaps Mizuki is in there.
Okay, there is a hollow space in the speaker.
Mizuki!
Date, hurry! Help her!
I know.
Okay.
Are you okay?
That hurt, idiot! Pull it off more gently! You're late, by the way! I was about to suffocate, just so you know! This is so typical! You're never there when you need to be! Just like 6 months ago, I was about to miss the bus and you...
Actually, stay like that for a while. Huh?
Your
I don't believe
investigation
this.
consider this a warning. Okay, but there's no way you're gonna suffocate in the speakers. You can't tell me the speakers are completely sealed. That oxygen cannot get in.
Three men. The doorbell rang and they said they were delivery men. I thought you had bought another one of your weird videos or something, so I opened the door. And they sprayed me with tear gas.
Did you see their faces?
No, they were all wearing masks.
It is probable that they are working for So. They may be his bodyguards or hired thugs.
It just makes me so mad! If they didn't get the jump on me, I would have... Pow! Bang! Bam! Wham!
Mizuki, I have just one thing to say. Never in my life have I bought any weird videos.
That's what you wanted to say?
Okay. Oh, wait. Are you okay?
Not
you're
hurt.
yelling at me, so...
My
I'm
mouth
guessing
stings
you
a little.
are.
Thanks to you ripping the tape off my face. If I get fat lips from this, I'm gonna make you pay for cosmetic surgery.
Don't girls want bigger lips, though?
Okay, it's not gonna do that much damage, is it? Is it gonna do that much
What?
damage?
We identified the person inside the polar bear.
The man who tried to kill Iris and Ota?
Yes. And also, the man who killed your parents.
Okay, we're just... We don't need to... We're gay and that... Okay, that's good enough.
Who?
Congressman So Tsujima.
So?
Do you know him?
Kinda. I've seen him on TV before. But why?
I don't know why yet. But it was definitely his blood at the cold storage warehouse.
I can't believe it. I'll never forgive him. I'll get him for this.
Mizuki, I'm going to So's house now.
Are you leaving me behind again?
No, not anymore. Even if I tried to leave you behind, you'd still come with me, wouldn't you? So are you ready?
What should I be prepared for?
So's bodyguards will be armed. It might get messy.
Bring it. I'll put them in the ground.
Don't kill them. We need him alive, and I need you to stay safe. Can you do that?
Always.
Always?
Occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Date, you have to understand. He killed my parents. I saw their bodies with my own eyes. If I turn back now, I'll go crazy!
I know. You don't have to say it.
Let's go.
5 minutes.
Okay. So, with this...
Thanks for the warm welcome. I came for So. Please, take me to him.
What are you talking about? He's sleeping and not taking any visitors. Go home.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I'm coming in.
I took one step, and then I felt a shock ripple through my stomach. It was a fist screwing into my gut. I'm assuming
I've always
Suzuki is...
wanted to see this line. Nice punch.
Well, let me use a line too. This is the end for you, chump. Sejima's orders, nothing personal.
That's what I thought.
Huh?
You're so predictable.
What?
God, she came in eye above.
Easy.
Nope. We're not even close to done yet. Look.
You know, I suddenly
Bring
get
it
like
on.
the Matrix and
Let's
Agent
do
Smith.
this.
Kill them.
Date, I'll take care of these guys. You get those, Date.
Are you okay?
Shouldn't you worry more about yourself, old man?
Jeez.
I'm off.
Probably should like get my hands ready just in case I need to fire a weapon.
It's dark. I can barely see.
There are numerous hostiles. Too many for you and your revolver to combat effectively.
So what's the plan?
Let's see. Date, the island in the middle of the pond. Do you remember it?
Yeah?
Your favorite thing is on that island.
My favorite thing.
A porno magazine.
Oh my god, again?
What?
It's... Honestly, the joke is kind of getting tiring.
Whoa! Porno mag!
Can you imagine if you're in the middle of a fight and that is a thing you hear shouted right in the middle of things?
Huh? Where'd the porn go?
Exactly why did you want Date here in the middle?
Load evolver with wire bullets.
What am I shooting at?
Above us.
Above us? Why?
Stop
No
asking
time to
questions,
explain, just do
it. Okay, I was thinking it was gonna make me eat something.
What was that? That's supposed to be a warning shot or something? Now throw us the gun. Come quietly.
Date, do as I told you!
Don't you mean surrender?
Do it! Do it or we die!
What did you tell us to do? Oh, what the? Oh. Lightning, huh?
Get them!
Go in the water and then you guys are gonna How are you gonna time the lightning strike, Iva? How do you know this?
They practice.
What do you mean?
Just watch. You will see in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Well, okay, well, they're toasted. That's one way to deal with a lot of people. I collected my evolver from the pond. That thing survived the lightning strike? How well made is it?
You lied to me again.
I have already explained this to you. If you hear the words porno magazine, your reaction speed increases by a factor of 3.6. A rather convenient function of yours. Why wouldn't I take advantage of it?
Damn it. How did you know about the lightning?
Satellite imagery, atmospheric conditions, and other factors. However, I predicted the lightning would fall elsewhere. So I had you launch wire bullets to direct the lightning to the pond.
Oh my god. I keep bringing this.
Anyway, where's Mizuki?
I will scan for her.
Oh god, she can confront. So. Tear gas? Pepper spray? Yeah, there you go.
Mizuki! Wait for me! I'm coming!
I sprinted through the rain-soaked garden and into the mansion. Not here.
I detect trace amounts of capsaicin in the air. Mizuki appears to have been sprayed with tear gas.
No.
Not this room. Not this one either. Can't find Mizuki anywhere. Oh, there's
This is...
Mizuki's metal pipe.
Date, that's you, isn't it?
Oh, look at
I
you.
can see you clearly from here.
What?
If you move one more step, you will be killing this child.
He is taking Mizuki hostage.
It's simple. Go home, Date. If you do, this girl lives.
Shit!
Date, look around. Mizuki must be nearby.
Okay.
Have you looked on the other side of the sliding door?
Not yet. But I know there's another room back there.
Okay, X-ray vision. Yes, there we go. Oh, hello, Picos117. Okay, oh, she is knocked out.
There she is. Mizuki!
That is So holding her.
Son of a bitch is using her as a shield. Why isn't Mizuki fighting back?
Can I just say, though?
She does not appear to be conscious.
Where is he pointing the gun?
I cannot determine why. But she is breathing. She is alive.
I have to do something.
Wait, don't move.
Because
remember what So told you.
That he can see us somehow.
There may be a sensor or something similar in this room.
Or I could just shoot him in the head.
I would stop that line of thinking. If you shoot now, there is a high chance he will hit Mizuki.
Then what am I supposed to do?
Let me think.
Yeah, as I was trying to say, it didn't look like So had his gun pointed at her. More like at her hair. Alright, what's happening now? Ooh, the metal pipe. I saw that.
Date, load Evolver with spherical bullets. Then, pick up that metal pipe on the floor.
I did as I've been instructed, moving carefully to not draw
You
suspicion.
need to do two things. First, throw the metal pipe toward the southwest corner of the room. Then, immediately shoot a spherical bullet at the pipe. No questions, there is no time to explain.
You sure this will work?
If you time it correctly, yes. My calculations are never wrong. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go!
Okay. Okay. Is it gonna like go into the pipe and oh, damn!
Mizuki! Mizuki!
Date!
He's not. It's not down out for the count.
Mizuki, move!
What?
Date, don't! It will hit Mizuki!
Shit!
I threw myself to the left to push Mizuki away. But okay, so this is another ending probably where Mizuki dies. Or he dies.
No! Impossible!
No. No way! Date, no! Don't die! Don't die! Date!
Bad end. I'm curious, what other... Sure, we'll save that under number 3. Okay. Ah, and that can be ongoing. I was wondering, oh, so we're actually not that, far from this. So there's still quite a bit, man, this felt long though. Yeah, alright. Just seeing where our trails are so far. So we still have this branch, which I must play through more stories. I'm assuming that when they unlock, the game will tell us. But yeah, I think next set, because I'm getting really hungry, basically. Next set, we'll be doing this section again. I'm kind of, was the begin investigation or reopen investigation? Hopefully reopen just gets you to the last checkpoint rather than starting from the beginning, because majority of this stuff, yeah, it should be from a latest. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, so we go reopen investigation, then we'll, I guess, start off from here. Because, yeah, we'll continue this next set, but we actually, it looks like we're nearing the end of this particular section. Out of curiosity, do these days, everything kind of, yeah, so everything kind of always ends on a Tuesday. But then it doesn't mean, I don't know, I'm guessing what's going to happen, we're going to capture So, and then we're going to do a sync with him. That's what makes the most sense. Either way, thank you for liking if you liked. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. Thank you for favoriting if you favorited. Thank you for simply clicking on this video. Next time, let's not get Date killed. See ya!